Hillbilly Half-Acre Homestead. Welcome back to the rabbitry. It's been a while. Sorry it's taken so long. We just got a number of things going on. One thing, the weather. It's been so windy. We're trying to keep the wind out of the camera's microphone right now because the wind kind of, this building's pretty drafty and the wind kind of blows through here. But we've had some cold weather, unseasonably cold for northeast Arkansas, and we've had just a lot of wind and stuff going on, and it's just been hard to get a video out. But we welcome you guys back. We're glad to finally be getting back on camera again. We've had some losses, mainly due to the, again, unexpected and unseasonably cold. Well, not unseasonably cold, but it's just colder than what we're used to dealing with in northeast Arkansas. We've had some really frigid cold temperatures for our area. Taffy, currently, we're out in the mini Rex, or the red building now, and Taffy is the only though with babies right now. We'll show you those. This is Taffy here. For those of you who don't know Taffy, well, if you don't know Taffy, you probably don't know her parents either, but her parents are Blueberry and Hershey. Hershey, who we don't have anymore. Blueberry we still have, but Taffy has two little blacks. Here you go, Alley Cat. You want to hold that one? We've got two little blacks. We've got a pair of them. I don't know which is which, but one of these is a buck and one is a doe. Hey, they're about, I don't know, about a month old, I think. I don't know their exact ages. Always, when I need to know their ages, I always have to go into the computer and look that stuff up because I can't remember stuff like that as good as I should. But they're doing very well, looking good, and we've got some. Okay, we've got the two blacks, and we've got a trio of blues in here. Again, whoops, hang on, buddy. Okay, you want to put that one back? Okay, you can take this one. I don't know which is which, but we've got one buck and two does in the blues. They're all piled up back here in the corner. They act like it's cold. To them, it's not cold compared to what they've been dealing with because it's 41 degrees out here right now. But, oops, come here. Come here. Looky. We got some little blues. Tell you what, we've been having a run on blues lately. It's been crazy. I've had people contacting me right and left wanting blues, and you know, I used to have so many blues, but now, and it seemed like they weren't, you know, I couldn't keep and show that many, so I quit breeding as many, and now it seems like 3 times as many people want blues, so I just can't win, I guess. But yeah, we've got these little guys. They look like they're gonna develop rather nicely, but of course it's way too early to tell anything about that.
They're so soft.
We're still trying. Okay, that one wants to go back home. But yeah, they're just beautiful.
Aww.
These are sired by Jet. They seem to be doing really well. We've been fighting a lot of, watering issues. Naturally, when it gets that freezing cold, you give your rabbits water, and in about 5 minutes, it's frozen solid again. The watering system here, I believe, is down until we can get some replacement parts because we actually had unexpected freezing temperatures come up in the middle of the night, and it froze the water in the line and busted a lot of the little plastic T's on the line here, and I was out of them. Yeah, I know, nice planning, but no, I was out of them, and so now this is down. Or we could have that full right now, but we can fill it up. It's just going to leak right out on the floor about as fast as we fill it up, though. Yeah, I tell you what, some of these mini Rex brood does, they look so nasty, and it's almost embarrassing. But they're babies. They like to, when you're feeding them out of a water crock instead of this watering system, they like to get their feet wet and then climb up on Mama's back to warm them. And so Mama's back, if you realize how poor mini Rex fur starts looking after it's been wet, well, some of these, Taffy, I guess, is the main one. We've got Sarah over here. She missed her last time around. I don't know these exact dates for some of these gals, but I know that she is rebred. She hasn't been palpated and confirmed for pregnancy or anything like it. Okay, we've got Fiona over here. She had a litter, lost to the cold. So now that's 2 tries. for Fiona, and we've not gotten a successful litter out of her yet. But I believe this litter would have been successful had it not been for the cold and what have you. So we're not blaming that on her. She did the best she could. But you know, we had you know, the rabbits. We didn't lose a single rabbit. Well, I say that we lost kids, babies. You know, vulnerable babies to the cold. Even rabbits that size right there, 2 or 3 weeks or a month old, they handle the cold really well once that fur is growing in. But it's the vulnerable kids. When you're having wind chills of minus 13 degrees and temperatures in the single digits, your mama does when they have a baby in the middle of the night. You know, naturally they're born a little bit wet, which makes the cold worse. And when it's that cold, they just can't manage to have all those babies, clean them up a little bit, and get them covered up with fur quick enough to keep them from freezing. And we tried using some heat lamps, but when it was that cold, and because all we could do was set them up here on top. If we did anything else, I was afraid they would fall or do something and cause a fire. So all we could do was put them up here on top, and they were just too far away to do any real good. Because, you know, trying to keep safety in mind, that was the only way I figured that we could actually do it. Now Delilah, Delilah has been rebred. She had a litter. All of her litter is gone now, except for this one little chocolate buck. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. He is a pretty nice little buck, too. If somebody needs a chocolate buck, I think he's going to be a little bit large. But, you know, it could be he's just growing pretty fast right now because we still got a J feeder in there. And because we were feeding the whole litter. Anyway, we've got a J feeder in there where we were feeding a litter of 7 at one point. But, you know, those have all been sold well, they've all been sold. And what have you. This one little guy is all that's left. And he is, I don't know how his density of fur is going to be. But his color is I'm really happy with. But I don't need a chocolate buck, so somebody will hopefully give him a good home at some point. Of everything that we were able to raise from back in the winter before it started getting so cold, of all the babies, the only thing that we have left that I'm not keeping to take a closer look at myself, the only thing that we're not keeping that we have left is this little guy, and I've got one black doe left that was out of Taffy and Jet from her last litter. So that one's probably getting close to breeding age. So we get find those two homes, and we'll have pretty much everything. We didn't do like we normally did. In other words, you know, going into winter, we just didn't have as many. We had some does to miss in the fall that normally don't. We had some lost litters. You know, Fiona, she was a new mama. She lost a litter. Cherry over there behind the camera, she had a problem. She lost a litter, and we haven't been able to get her bred since. But I think she may be pregnant now. But she bred just a few days ago, so it's gonna be a while before we know. Everybody. In mini wrecks, at least, everybody except Taffy has been exposed to a buck. Some of them we know are pregnant. Some of you folks have asked, how can I tell if my doe is pregnant? Well, if you don't feel comfortable enough to palpate, all does don't do this, okay? But just listen. Hey, Leah. Hey, baby. Come here. Come here, sugar. Yeah. It's okay, sugars. It's okay. She just don't want to be messed with, but listen to her. I don't know if I get over here close enough to the camera. Hey, baby. Hey, Super Plum. She makes a little squeaking. It's not really a growling noise, but it's a little squeaking noise. Her mama did that too. And one thing that you can go by, and You can just frame her. You don't have to get me framed this close. But one thing that you can go by, wondering if your does are pregnant, look for a definite personality change. Okay? When a doe gets pregnant, it's just like most any other mammal female. When it gets pregnant, it undergoes hormonal changes, and sometimes its personality will change. Okay? Leah, being the sweetest little bunny that you could ever imagine, she's not gotten mean, but she seems to be making that weird noise whenever we approach her and go to pick her up. Now that I've got her out and I'm holding her here, she's not doing it. But when I put my hand in to pick her up, now I have palpated her. She is indeed pregnant, and she's due on the 7th of February. But we knew she was pregnant before I ever did that. I just did that because that's what we do to confirm. Now, she was the only doe that I kept. I don't know if you guys remember Kira, our black and white broken. I had to put her down for medical reasons. But look at this fur. This is sired by our own Tag Along. And Kira, look at this fur. Now, we didn't show this young lady, but I believe she could have been competitive with this fur. But she's bred back to Elvis. Okay? And if you've seen Elvis, then you understand that we're definitely going for small size and fur here. Okay? Because Elvis is Glowstick's son. Glowstick, who we lost as well. But we are in the process of trying to improve that fur, and we can improve this fur even further. I mean, wow. But we'll see, But she is just gorgeous. Okay, black is not a popular color among people who come here and want rabbits, but I don't raise just because people are going to come here and buy rabbits. We show these, and we enjoy them, But this fur, one of our end goals is we want to have this fur onto a blue rabbit. Okay, we love our blues, but we haven't been able to get the fur that we like on our blues yet. We've got great blues, don't get me wrong, but the fur. Okay, I'm moving.
All right.
But the fur, it has not been what we have been hoping for. Leah has got a nice. Not here. No, turn. You want me to put you in butt first? I know. Okay. Got your butt. All right. Here we go. No, don't kick. I'll sit you down. There you go. See, that's all you had to do. Let me do it. Good girl. Now here. I doubt the camera microphone will pick it up, but it's just a little squeaking sound. It's just as cute as can be, but it just means that she's just a little bit concerned about being approached. This is Ebony back here. She's hiding. She's sitting down in the nest. We haven't had a successful pregnancy out of her yet, but she recently bred to Elvis, and we hope, because she is she is a glow stick baby, and she's bred to Elvis, who is also a glow stick baby, and we just hope to get some glow stick fur out of the deal, because glow stick, far and away, of any mini Rex that we've had in recent time, far and away the best fur that we've had in the rabbitry. And she went way before her time. She'd only had 2 or 3 litters for us, and she went way before her time. But when those teeth go bad, there's really nothing to be done. But this is what we've got going. Yeah, Sarah. Let's see, Leah and I think Cherry were due for February the 7th kennel date. But I believe we discovered since then through palpation that Cherry had missed for that date, and we re-exposed her to the buck, and now I think she's due sometime around the end of February. Jada has been exposed to the buck. She's over here behind the camera. Y'all have seen Jada before. She's just our solid black doe. Great fur on that gal. She's just a little bit big for the mini Rex breed. But we've got some super small bucks, and we're breeding. We're slowly breeding these guys down in size. Don't get me wrong. If you've got, a 5-pound brood doe in mini Rex, if you've got a small buck, you can work with that 5-pound brood doe. And what you're going to have is you're going to have does that, if you're looking for litter numbers, size, Twix, is probably the most notorious that we would think of. She was a 5-pound mini Rex doe. Definitely a disqualification if you were to try to register her or show her, but she's had litters as many as 11, whereas what's typical, 5 to 4, 5, maybe 6 is typical in a mini Rex doe. But she being a larger doe, she just always she always had bigger litters. Morgan had a pretty good sized litter. Now she's not as large as Twix was, but when you have your larger brood does, but if you've got a super small buck that will counteract the size of that brood doe, and sometimes they are, they're what you call a false dwarf brood doe, which means they don't have the dwarf gene, so they're going to be a little bit bigger. But if you breed them to a buck that is definitely a true dwarf mini Rex buck, those babies can still turn out super nice, and you get more of them out of the litter. But hey, what kind of rabbit is this? This is a mice catching rabbit right here.
That's a spooky rabbit.
Yeah, she's spooky, all right.
I finally caught her.
Yep, got a mouse catching rabbit. Anyway, okay, so folks, that's pretty well what we've got going on with the mini Rex. Nothing really new. I do have a couple of prospects out of Jada. There is a black doe, which I'm kind of on the fence about, but there is a super nice chocolate doe that we're growing out that might get to go to the show at some point. We'll see. But if nothing else, she might end up replacing Fiona. So, and we've got some other, when I get some blues to come off in the future, just to let you guys know, some of our next brood does, we don't ever let these guys get too old, because we want to move them on to somebody that can still get some use and production out of them to help their rabbitry out. But probably the next brood doe to go. We've lost Iris. We lost all of our older does. Delilah will probably be the next to go. She's a nice brood doe. She's on the big side, but she throws some super nice babies. Delilah may be the next to go as far as rotating some of the older ladies out to replace with younger. But if this doe out here out of Jada, this chocolate doe, is as nice as she's looking like she's going to be at her age now, we might consider letting Fiona go. So any of you folks around in the area, if get that on your mind, if you might be interested. These gals that have been with us some period of time, we're way picky about where they go. We should be picky about all of them, but we're more attached to our brood does that we've spent time and watched them have kids and watched them raise kids and what have you. So we're a little bit pickier about where they go, but in the end, they've got to go somewhere, because we've got limited cages here. We can't just keep putting up cages, or eventually we'd have to sleep out in the truck and the rabbits would get the house. We can't do that. But we just love them, and we just have to. We want to kind of pretty well stay at where we're at in the number of cages and what have you. So we're just gonna keep rotating them out. We're gonna try to work on some better brood stock for the blues. Of course, naturally, we're always continuously trying to improve everything. We've also got Sarah over here, and we're trying to improve fur on that caster line. Color is superb. I'm impressed with the color on these casters, but we're trying to improve fur and type a little bit to get those where they need to be. But ordinarily this time of the year we would probably have 30 to 40 young mini Rex for sale, coming up on show season, and we've had so many losses that I've got people calling me and Facebook messaging me and what have you. You got any mini Rex? And I've got 4 or 5 people right now that are asking me about mini Rex, and I've got the one pair, the black doe and the chocolate buck down here. That's all that's left, and I don't know who's going to end up with those, but they're probably not going to be here much longer. And like I say, this time last year we had about 30 to choose from, and we've lost so many from the cold and what have you this winter that we just don't have them. So we may or may not even have any mini wrecks to show this spring. Anyway, that's what's going on in the mini wrecks. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Good to be back on film. Good to good to be bringing you another video again. Oh my goodness, I'm just umming and ahhing here. I just, this obviously isn't scripted. We just wanted to get out here and finally get the chance to make another video. And what do you say? What do you know, Allie? You've been awful quiet. You talk so much, I can't say a word. Well, okay, folks, we're gonna cut the video off. Thank y'all for watching. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Allie.
Like, subscribe, and click the little bell.
Okay. Y'all have a great day. God bless.